All right, hi, this is Michelle Dominique, certified wellness coach and chronic pain massage therapist. And for those of you who are joining us from Facebook Live, welcome back to Chasity Luellen, my friend, cancer thriver, and owner of All Things Natural, Fifth Avenue Bakery. I love it. So we're going to be talking a little bit about what she has here and why she has what she has. And hello to our Facebook people.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us, now you were saying as we talked on Facebook about how this all resulted as a bucket list for you because you were given a diagnosis and told you had 1 year if you did not do the chemo cut and burn kind of deal.
Right.
So here we are. How close are we to the year? Or have we passed it?
I think we've already passed it. I really do. I don't even keep track of
I
it.
love the fact. Wait, let me just say that. And like I tell people, my father, I went through 20 years back and forth before, and that's part of the reason why I health coach. You know, some people train the health coach and some people live it. And out of that comes health coaching.
You're right.
That was my situation with my grandmother, with my father, and the hardest was my mother. Now, my father was the only one who had cancer, and I watched it come back and remiss. But I love what you said, and I don't want to offend anybody, but you said it, so I'm going to go with it.
That's okay. Yeah,
the dates. The dates, you know, and you'll see it on Facebook. You know, I'm so-and-so months cancer-free. I'm so-and-so months cancer-free. Then, you know, okay, that's great, and we celebrate, but then it flips, and then it goes to, you know, I go to get my test in 6 months. I go to get, and I just wanted to say, can you live your life?
Yeah.
You have been given your life back. So if you spend 6 months worried about what that test is going to show, you've already lost 6 months. So if it tells you have a year, then you've lost 6 months. So when I talk to people about doing alternative therapies, I love what you said about it gives you a chance to slow down. Because when you're humping and turning and we're going to get this and fight, we're going to fight, can't. That's the other one.
It's the most toxic behavior.
We don't fight.
No.
I haven't scrapped since 5th grade.
I love it, you know. But okay, all right, I'll get with you. I mean, whatever.
Let's just go with that.
All right.
So technically, you know, I haven't actually had like a schoolyard fight since 5th grade. So this concept of the fight,
Yeah.
the energy behind that is so.
It's damaging. It's damaging
It is.
to your whole life system because that's not what God asked. And this is where it's important to me. I feel like with a faith background, you're able to look at things at a different perspective and go, okay, through faith, I can believe, okay, the Father's got me. There are things that we can do, but there are things that are out of your control. And whether you want them to happen or not will not make it happen for you. You can't just will something to happen. And
Absolutely.
fighting for it and grasping at these silly things, money, power, your life, looking cute all the time, looking like a snack, you know, trying to keep rid of wrinkles. All of this is silly. It's silly.
So over that.
Yeah, well,
but
we live it.
But nonetheless, I love her. And if you're watching this on YouTube, check out my podcast where we do Chastity's whole story, and so you can understand her energy and attitude around where she came from because she went an alternative route. Now, if you did not go an alternative route, please don't
think we're forcing.
Don't make me delete you. Is what I'm saying. Please don't give me no smack. But this is her story.
Yeah.
There are a whole lot of other stories that you normally see, but I wanted to give you a perspective because her story is not going to make the news.
No.
It might. Maybe in a feel-good moment, somebody will bring her on and talk about how she's using lymphatic drainage, which is how we met. I was her lymphatic drainage therapist, and how she's doing UBI ozone, and how she's doing, you know, chelation. Those stories will probably not make the news. So for people who are out and they've got this diagnosis, and you know you're feeling some kind of way about this treatment that's about to happen, but everybody's pushing you along, I brought her to say, There is another way.
There's hope. There is a different way of
And
doing
also
it.
to be okay with your decision and don't feel pressured and scared. So this is not to cut anybody down,
No.
but this is just to share her story. So we are here right now
Yes.
in
My
Fifth
bucket.
Avenue. Yes, because this was on her bucket. I didn't even know that till just now, but
Okay. That's
this
all
was
right.
at the end of her bucket list, the last thing of things that she wanted to do. Tell us about where we're sitting today.
So we started a list, my husband and I told my kids, because they said here, right? So I told my kids, I went home, I said, Mommy's not going to be here. And I love you. I'm okay with it. I'm okay. I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to see the Father. And I'm excited, actually. So let's start living, because we weren't. We were actually just running through the motions of things.
Oh,
Just,
yeah.
woo, 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 woo.
Yes. sister.
So, actually, it makes you appreciate people more. It makes you love your children. It makes you do all the things
Live.
that you hear. It makes you live.
Yeah.
And so we decided to take every little bitty last scrap of money that we have, and why we looked around at our family members, we looked at different people, and we're like, why are we scrimping and saving for nothing, for just this rat race life? Let's go out and live it and enjoy it. Where do you want to go? My husband looked at me and said, where do you want to go? I said, this is where I want to go. This is where I want to go. I speak this language. I want to go here. I want to learn this language. I want
She
to
learned
and we
7 languages. I'm excited.
And we were talking in bed one night, and we said, well, I said, what do you think about owning a place? And he was like, we should do a place called Naughty and Nice. And I said, Naughty and Nice? He said, yeah, I'll do the naughty food. You do the nice food. You do the good. Because everything I made like good and healthy. And
I love that.
so he said, let's have
I love that.
let's do a car, like a truck, a food truck. And so I called my aunt.
Okay.
My aunt's an entrepreneur, and she has owned lots of companies. I just glean such information from my aunt. She's amazing. And so I called her and I was like, Aunt Tina, what do you think about this? I know that you looked into it once. She was like, hey, if I could tell you anything, it's going to be really hard to have a food truck. It is really hard because you got to find a place, all this stuff. Well, I gave up that dream just a scotch, and God was like, but baby, it's still a spark. Here you go. You said you wanted it. I'm going to give it to you.
Wow.
You want that responsibility. And I told him, Lord, I'm not going to be here. Like, why are you giving me something so responsible,
Right.
And he knew better. And so
I'm so
we found
glad
this
he
place.
does.
We found this place. I've been running up and down Garland for over 15 years now as a personal trainer, physical fitness instructor. I work for Garland City. And this place was dilapidating and old, and I said, I'm just going to stop. And I speak Spanish, and the man that was out did not speak a lick of English. And I asked him, I said, do you own this place? And, oh, no, he's just the groundskeeper. And I said, well, do you have a phone number? Because the phone number on the fence was all broken and dilapidated, and you couldn't read it. There was only like 3 numbers. And he said, yes, I know. He had the direct line. The man met me, and it was like from history from there. The Lord
history.
just
And
moved
the rest
it.
is history.
Just moved it. But so fast forward to now, baking and just enjoying getting to teach people how to eat and how to fuel their bodies is so important to me.
Yes.
So important. And it became so important to me as a person and a mom and whatever, but it became even more important to me after COVID hit, because my training stopped. I was furloughed. I've been furloughed. No training, no nothing. I've had a couple of personal training sessions with a couple of people every once in a while, but those just didn't seem to pan out, and God just keeps continuing to bring me back to this area. He says, no, this is where you need to be. This is where you're pouring into my people. And I continue, like today I prayed over a gentleman who was having some issues, and I continue to use this story, this background, the knowledge that he gives me, and I'm just going to keep talking until he takes me home. I don't know.
That's why I'm here with this video camera. I just keep showing up like, hey, can I do recording? How about podcast? Hey, can I do Facebook Live? Hey, I'm going to do YouTube because, and I'm doing I should put that on Facebook Live, see I forget, but I'm doing tonight, I'm doing I'm starting wellness workshop. So it's going to be a 30-minute where we talk, and because it's just like what you said, I need to help people realize it is time for you to take control of your health. Please stop walking into the doctor saying, what is wrong with me?
I need a pill.
Okay? And we have nothing against doctors. We met at the doctor's office that I was working at. I have a tremendous respect for doctors. I have nurse practitioner friends. But you need to think of it takes a village to raise a child. You need to have a village of healthcare professionals. A
Case in point.
village of health. A village.
That's why I call her doc. So she doesn't want to be called, but I call her doc.
It should be starting with a massage therapist.
Yes.
Yes, I said massage therapist. There are massage therapists like myself who handle more of the chronic pain aspect, more of the medical aspect, as opposed to just, getting a massage, which is okay. But you never discredit that because everything happens in the body, okay?
Yeah.
Most people are so disconnected from their bodies, it's amazing.
I know. They don't
And that's what I say, I help people I help reconnect you to your body.
Yes, you do.
I find muscle discord, I alleviate it, and I help connect you to your body so that when your body begins to send you signs and signals again, you will acknowledge it, think on it, figure out what's wrong, and handle it from there.
And don't panic.
Gone are the days when we can pop a pill. COVID has changed the game. And so in that circle, you need a massage therapist, you need a chiropractor, you need an acupuncturist, a homeopath,
IV therapist.
an ND, an IV therapist, which we got to even break that down.
I know, but
Before you show up at, at the doctor. I ate that pie, it was so good. I knew I should have waited, but it was good.
Where's your cherry bomb? Where's your cherry bomb?
Before you show up at the doctor, these are all steps you should take. And then you can walk into your doctor intelligently and say, hey, I've been having these symptoms. I've been having them for this long. I noticed that it happens this time and that time and that time. I've been tracking. Never. I would tell clients when I worked at the doctor's office, I could save you 3 visits if you go home and do a journal. So that's about $150. You don't have enough to see me? I've just saved you, over $200.
Yes, you did.
It's $75 a
Good
visit.
job. Can I have that money?
If you go home and pay attention to your body, I'm not saying that you can fix it, but when you walk into a doctor's office and say, what is wrong with me? They have a protocol. And they're going to say, maybe this is wrong with you. And you cannot blame them. Yeah, you cannot blame them. Don't get mad and come back and say, they gave me this and it didn't work.
Yeah.
You didn't give them enough information, okay? Be informed before you make the appointment. I'm not saying don't. Please don't get me wrong. But a lot of times if we just go that route, let me see my massage therapist, let me see my chiropractor, let me see my acupuncturist, your body has an innate ability to heal itself. It was created that way.
Yes, it does.
When you use food as your medicine, okay, that's a great place to start. So, coming back to that, let's talk about food as medicine because, see, that's why I'm choking now because I'm eating this treat that I should be waiting on.
Wait a minute.
Wait. But I don't usually get good treats. I've been craving chocolate and I'm way past Rockwall.
Well,
so I've been craving chocolate for 2 days. So I'm like, the interview, let me just get some on the side. And my mouth is all dry. But I say that to say, tell us. It's a beautiful thing that I can come and have a piece of chocolate brownie pie and not go home feeling like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. No, I should have done that. So tell us about how you are teaching people how to use food for fuel, and how to how to eat to live instead of living to eat, but still being able to enjoy it because this stuff is good. So tell us about what you got here.
So what I have here is just my years of gleaning knowledge of cooking, personal training, and then nutrition on top of that, years of nutritional classes and different my own healthcare issues. And then, like I said, I used to be bigger. I don't get me wrong, I love food. And
by the way, don't think that I never want to give anybody that opinion.
Yeah, no, just because you just doesn't mean that I don't love food.
And sweets.
Brownie pie.
I love sweets.
Yes.
Come on, friend.
So, so I had had a nurse friend of mine. So here's how much I love food. I cried when the doctor said no more sugar. I cried over a Krispy Kreme donut, girl. And
I'm there.
I had a nurse friend of mine, again, one of those health practitioners that you surround yourself with people.
Your circle.
Yes,
Where's
you
your circle?
do. Yes, you do.
Got your circle.
I did not know what to do, so who do I go to? I go to the friends that I know. And that one person, Elizabeth Abishar, she said, oh, I got you. I got you. There's something called Trim Healthy Mama and this and this and that. And that trained me some other way because I didn't know. I knew how to eat salads and steak, and I knew what protein did for the body, but I didn't know exactly how to make it taste good. I wanted a pie. I wanted my donut.
Mm-hmm.
You told me I couldn't have a donut, but I can have a steak. I cry over a donut.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you keep the steak.
yeah, well, sometimes.
Give me my treats every day.
So she really helped me there, and she said, don't worry, I got you. This is what we're going to do. And then from there, I started studying even more culinary effort, making more culinary effort to try to learn more about food and how it affects the body, how it affects the palate, what it does. And then also I started learning, okay, if I'm going to put it in my mouth, if it's going to be a donut, it better have protein in it. It better have the complex carbohydrates I need. It better have fiber, because if I'm eating it, I'm going to be hungry. And that's why I want it again, because of the sugar. The sugar attacks my brain and tells me even more. And then it attacks my gut. My gut gets bad bacteria in it. And then those bad bacteria crave the sugar.
Right.
I wanted to know. I geek out on that stuff.
Yes, I do too. So, I know. And here's what I love about it. As much, I have a culinary degree. Now, I did not get trained. I got my culinary degree in New Orleans, so you all know how I know how to cook. It is butter and cream and to the max.
Give it to me. What's wrong with it?
So when I had to adapt, and let's just say that we had to adapt this lifestyle. It was not something that I came running. I know some people do, but I did not come in here like, yes, sign me up. It was like, you must be kidding. I can't eat what? Sugar, dairy, soy, gluten, what? And by the way, gluten is not just bread, so when you tell me you're gluten-free, I tell you, are you sure? So, because I learned the hard way of how extensive gluten was, not just to the food that I ate. It wasn't, to the products that I used. So it was all eye-opening. But what I love here is, as much as I know, that's where I'm going with this, with cooking and whatnot, I don't have time to do that all the time. Getting the right formulation and, getting the right amount for the crust and how to get that flour just so. So I respect and appreciate and travel far distances to come to her shop because she has it down packed. Now tell us a little bit about what you have.
So, well, you got my brownie pie today. So my brownie pie is a gluten-free brownie pie made with Orgain protein. So I tried several proteins, and I tried to keep the sugar level completely low because my husband's type 1 diabetic, and I know how the sugars spike the blood sugar. And then some flours and things like that will spike the blood sugar too. But also, my daughter has a gluten intolerance and almost to the point of celiac disease. We're kind of almost there. We're just on the edge of it. Me, I can't be around it. It makes my throat itchy, my eyes itchy. Yeah, it's crazy. And so we just went away from it altogether. And then when it started, when I started baking, I started thinking, okay, well, what if I combine those? So we combine almond flour, we combine something called oat fiber. It's not the same as oats, and it's not the same as oat flour. Oat fiber is something different. The body metabolizes it differently. And then coconut. Coconut is a really good fibrous flour, and it also helps. But knowing the balances in between the toothiness, how it reacts to the palate, and the brownie pie here is
I'll pick that up again.
The brownie pie is made with coconut flour because it's sweet, and you like that sweetness in your mouth. And then the sugars that we use are alternative sugars that are plant-based sugars, which don't spike the blood sugar at all. And I keep looking at my camera. I'm sorry, folks.
Yeah, that's
they don't spike the blood sugar.
So for all you people who say, when we start talking about this, and I love how you were able, because of what you went through, to identify what your daughter
Is going through.
might be experiencing. Because
Yes.
when I speak and I tell people, when I didn't understand what gluten sensitivity was, and if your doctor tells you it's not real, it's real.
It's real.
There is a difference between gluten sensitivity and celiacs, and my question is if celiacs can be identified. Because if you look at Honey Nut Cheerios,
Oh.
it will say
Gluten is,
celiac.
yeah,
safe.
approve or something like
And
that.
I put that because if gluten was just gluten,
Mhm.
it wouldn't be a problem. But it's so dangerous to some people that if it's not labeled celiacs, approved, people with celiacs can't eat it.
That's right.
And I say that because though I have a sensitivity, gluten does not sit well with me.
Mhm.
I don't have celiac. So you can't say, oh, well, if you're not celiac, you don't have a problem. That is why it's so important for you to know your body. Before you show up and ask anyone to alter, fix, change, or do anything to your body, it is best that you have a clear understanding of how your body works and the things that upset you.
Absolutely.
Now, we're talking about these amazing sweet treats. When I first was finding out and uncovering that, and not knowing I had a gluten sensitivity, man, I would eat, and I ate healthy. It was lean turkey and a
That's right, me
thin, not the bread, but it was a thin thing, and
They're round. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
what are those called? Thin.
yeah,
What are those
thin.
called?
Shortbread.
No,
Not the
it's
shortbread.
It's the bread, not the cookie cake thing.
Come on, y'all.
but-
Y'all get on here and tell us what those are.
Yeah, come on. Hey, David.
Yeah, my husband's on here.
But nonetheless, and I mean, my healthy, it was healthy what I knew.
Right.
But every time I ate, I promise you, I just wanted to,
Fall asleep.
and it was, I didn't make the gut-brain connection because, see, my stomach wasn't upset. I wasn't running to the bathroom, but I just couldn't pull it together. I had a mega case of brain fog. Now imagine me being 5 in a classroom
And
with
not-
25 other kids, and I've just come back from lunch, and I've eaten something that has set me off, and I couldn't explain it as an adult.
Yeah.
So I definitely, as a 5-year-old, can't explain to my teacher why I can't keep my head up and why I can't focus. That's
crazy.
what it's like when you have a gluten sensitivity.
It is. It is.
So it's very important to know this
Mhm.
and to acknowledge and recognize it, because your little people, I was an adult and I couldn't tell you what was wrong with me.
Right. Right.
So as a little person having this issue, and I don't want to get on, some slippery slopes here, but before we start trying traditional methods to curb that behavior, let's just reevaluate or think about the gut-brain connection,
Right.
because it's real.
Checklist it.
So-
You're the first in your children, in the people around you, your family. You are the first one to see differences in behavior because you're around them all the time.
So
So
those,
start your checklist.
yeah, so don't just limit, I don't like something or I'm sensitive to something to a stomach. Oh no. Oh no. It is behavior. It is,
Right.
how it's going to manifest itself a lot of time, especially for little people, because you're going to act out because you don't know what you're feeling.
Yeah,
you
you're
can't
trying
get
to-
it under control.
Yeah.
So, all right, so tell us about the shakes and the
Yes.
and the,
So Orgain Protein. Orgain Protein came about for us because we were looking for the lowest carbohydrate, lowest sugars. Orgain, the way we use it, we have 21 grams of protein and 20 grams of protein, which makes a total of 40 grams of protein in your protein shake, and 2 grams of natural sugars, which come from the beets that are in it. So therefore, it doesn't spike the blood sugar, and it keeps you full, sustained, and it's the most complete protein that I have found right now. A cancer doctor created it, actually.
oh wow.
His name is Andrew Abraham. He's a founder and doctor and a cancer survivor. So that was another one of those things. It's a gentle nutrition, gentle protein. It's vegan, soy-free, gluten-free, non-GMO, and good for celiac and things like that. That was a huge thing for me. I bake with it. We do shakes with it. We've used it in our coffees. any which way I can get more protein and fiber and nutrients into someone or myself is my most important goal.
Now, the other thing I tried for the first time was that the slushie. And I haven't had a slushie in years, and I was surprised. I was like, Chastity sells slushies?
I know.
Oh my, I thought she was, I don't judge, but I'm just saying, until she told me it was sugar-free.
Yes.
Oh!
Yes.
Oh, happy day!
Yeah, yeah. So we use a company called Abundant Life Foods, and they only use stevia in their drink mixes. And I have, and even then, you still need to be careful with Abundant Life Foods because there are some things that are, of course, not celiac. But there are the products that we use from them, specifically those products we use, and we continue to vet those companies. So what are you looking
Chastity,
for?
what'd you do with it? Did you have
Cherry pie.
She took it
Charity.
out? I think she took it out.
Did you take it out, baby?
Did
What'd you
it
take?
out?
What?
Where's the shake?
The cherry tea bomb. You drank
She
it?
drank it. Okay, I'm getting one to go, but
Uh,
I wanted them to see because this was not like, and I was surprised when you made it and gave it to me, and I was just like,
Just make another one for her while we're on camera.
There you
because
go.
I want a slushie.
Girl, that is gone. Don't you do
I
that.
don't want that. I want the slushy one because it was really good. But
Anyway.
nonetheless, I mean, it's the taste. Of course, it's not going to taste like that polar bear one. It's not going to taste like that. So let's
Yeah.
just get that out. But once again, like I said, it's not going to land you in a nursing home drooling from your mouth, when you should be out enjoying your grandkids. So when you
Right.
ask me, well, does it taste like? No, it's not going to taste just like that. But it is a wonderfully pleasant, and it's so clean.
Thank you.
Like it's not hanging on my palate,
Mhm.
which is why you always want more of the other sugar because it lingers. This is clean. I've enjoyed it. I can stop right here. I'm gonna try to take that home. I can stop right here
You could.
and not feel like it's not propelling me to have more. And see, that's what you don't understand about, when you see something and it has fructose syrup plus high fructose syrup,
Yes.
the question has got to be asked now. We know that is addictive. It is put in that combination to make you want more. So this is satiating
Yes, it is.
without having me have to gorge
Right.
myself.
And that's so important
And
because
that's a beautiful thing.
your stomach it expands on its own. It will expand, and the more you eat, the worse it gets, and then you're finding yourself in this trap, and that's not what we want. We want to encourage you to eat properly. Drink a lot of drinks, and drinks can be a food source too for your body,
Yes,
and that's important
yes.
too. People don't think about
That's
that.
why you don't waste what you put in your mouth.
No,
you
you
don't
do
waste
not.
it because your body counts it.
Absolutely counts everything you put in your body. I mean, if you're drinking a soda pop, why didn't you just go ahead and reach for one of the slushies instead?
Right,
Because
right.
at least the slushies have vitamin C, vitamin B, things for your immune system. Whereas the Coke messes with your pituitary gland, and then all of a sudden you're wanting more and more. You're not quenching your thirst, and then also gut,
Oh,
teeth,
and
everything.
that's where we talk about. That's where the concept of eat to live. Every time I put something in my mouth, I have to think, what are the consequences, or what's the plus? Where is
Yeah.
this going to take me? So before we wrap up, I want you, why we're sitting so closely and not wearing masks. Can you talk about that? Because when I walked in, I was like, okay, that's different. And then when she told me what it was, I was like, of course you do. So I just want Chastity to go into what she uses in her establishment to make it an unwelcoming host for any virus, yet she does it without using the two most toxic substances to the human body, bleach and ammonia, which is being used. I just want to say, if it was bad for you before COVID, I'm just saying. So
Yeah.
here is, once again, she's on the cusp, girl.
I'm on the cusp.
She's on the cusp of what other businesses, and hopefully bigger businesses, as people start returning back to work, will look into doing to keep the environment truly safe, not surface safe.
Yeah.
What she's doing is truly cleansing
Thank
the
you.
environment.
Thank you for saying that. A lot of people don't understand what ozone is, or highly oxygenating the air is. So the molecules in the air are oxygen based and carbon and all of that. Well, in our teeny tiny shop, it's 200 square feet. I know it looks like on these things that it's larger. It's not.
I wasn't gonna say that.
Yeah, well, because we're stuck up in this corner over here.
that should be evident.
We're not moving.
That should be evident.
That's why we're so close. But so we're not wearing masks because all day long, continuously, and it's mainly for my family and my health, because we're the only ones. It's my son, myself, my daughter, and then sometimes my niece on the weekends, but not even then, and my husband. For us, keeping me from getting bacteria and viruses is more important, because I'm, again, like I said, I'm doing a lot of things to lower my immune system sometimes,
Yeah.
and it wants to be low.
Yeah.
So first of all, God gives you an immunity.
Yes.
That's your first
line of defense. Yeah.
Second of all, at night we do something called thank you, Cherry Pie. She's Vanna White today. We do something called UVC. So this UVC lamp, these little nodes right here on top of the lamp, if you can see them, I'm going to put them up there. So if you see those nodes right there, these are just simply UV light, so that you can see that it's on. These are just lamps that show that it's on. But if you were to look into these little teeny tiny squares right here, Doc, any of these little teeny tiny squares, it would burn your retinas. It would give you a sunburn. Almost like a third degree burn. A third degree burn. We have something called an ozone layer that protects us from UVC. And this actually destroys anything. So that includes any like flying bugs or anything that are around in this,
Oh, I'm sorry. You don't have to use pesticides or
No.
your food product?
No, I don't have to use pesticides. But we do on the outside, of course, we have pest control, but toward the inside, and because this is an older building, there were things that were living here before. You have to be careful with those spiders. Those fuzzy spider things are really scary. But anyway, so here's what we do so the first line of defense is to wipe down with a germicide, which I use a germicide from Shackley. And so I germicide all the surfaces, and we use our sanitizer. That's a commercial grade sanitizer. We do that, and then this is the next line of defense. So we turn this on at night and we leave, along with our commercial grade ozone. So our large ozone machine can cover an entire 2-story, 3-story home, something like that. It's huge. It's industrial strength. It's actually what they use when, for instance, when someone passes away in a home and you can't get that bacterial smell out, let's just put it that way. Ozone can suck that out. A smoker, a person that smokes in a home, or a car, or if things happen like black mold, these things are used, and this is not a new technology. These things are used by companies all the time to fix homes that have been messed up if someone passed away in it and they didn't find that person for a while. Ozone is one of those things that's part of the hazmat or toxicity cleaning. And then after we do that, all day long, while customers are in and out of our room, we have one that fits up to 2,000 square foot. Like I said, it's only 200 square feet. So ours fits up to 2,000 square foot. Plus I have some medical grade, let me just show you this while I have it here, if I can get it. Some medical grade tubing, if you can see it, some medical grade tubing with a carbon filter on the end. And that can be attached to our ozone generator, and what that does is we can throw ozone into the water. So you're not only getting ozone in the air, you're getting the ozonated water in your coffee and in your drinks. So you're drinking ozone, and our clients drink ozone and they don't even know it, but they're getting their immune systems pumped.
Okay, first of all, I didn't know that, and
that's
so,
okay, and that's not something that because people don't literally.
Because I pay good money. I want to say that I pay good money for ozone treatments. You know that, right? So, and I know this is a different thought, but to think that I'm actually what in everything?
Because
that's amazing. The level of commitment to your clients that takes.
It is.
That takes I just want you all to see. I didn't know that. I just learned that. But
because if you're healthy, I'm healthy.
That's above and beyond for sure. So that's above and beyond.
But
Those
if-
Luellens, they sure go off, I tell you.
Hey, what
But
do you
if I'm healthy, you're healthy. If you're healthy, I'm healthy, and that's why we do what we do. So whenever you're coming in for a cup of coffee, and I'm using the water in our systems, it helps with our filtration systems. The water in Dallas is nasty anyway, so it just helps. Even though we have a great filtration system, ozone in the water kills any. So in a highly oxygenated environment, let me just put it this way: viruses and bacteria cannot live. Look up what ozone is. I had a person come in the other day and go, "Oh,
Yes, yes.
so you have this magical vortex." Actually, kind of, I do. I kind of do.
And so I'm so glad that you're bringing that up, because so many people don't even understand or know
They don't.
what ozone therapy is.
They don't.
And in this pandemic age, I had my daughter when the shutdown happened. We were both going in every week to get ozone treatments.
That's important.
So it's like that's such a huge deal and such a huge commitment that you're making to walk the walk. Just going past that. So
It's what helped heal me. Why wouldn't I want to heal the rest of
It's
my
a beautiful
clientele and
thing.
people?
And so when you talk about oxidative stress, we hear people, and not to knock what you're doing, but that alkaline, you gotta be alkaline, when you cut out the oxidative stress, your body will be alkaline. So I see people spending a fortune and even getting these home systems. Why did you go with ozone instead of getting an alkaline system? Because you could have gotten that easily for your water.
Because like I said, ozone is, again, it's highly oxygenating your water, and so therefore it not only kills viruses and bacteria, but it also helps purify the water as well, and that's so important. And ozone, like you said, our water is toxic. No matter what you think, no matter how much the Garland or the Dallas or whatever, the water purification that goes down, that they use the chemicals or whatever to purify the water, people throw anything and everything down.
Birth control pills, that
Everything.
was a big one. The
Everything.
level of birth control that they found in your water, I was like, oh, okay,
Okay,
wow.
well, none of us get it.
Yeah,
right.
I'm good.
We're good.
But,
We good.
but anyway, okay, so before we finish up here at Fifth Avenue Nutrition,
Coffee plus bakery. Yeah.
yeah, I'm looking at all the word, like, how do I call it?
Yeah, I know it's a
Is there
longest.
anything you like to share with your people? There is coffee here. By the way, there is coffee here. Just least you think that this is all, no,
Yeah,
you can come
healthy,
in for a
healthy.
cup of Joe.
Yes,
you
you
can
can.
literally come in. Thank you, Vanna. You can literally come in for a cup of Joe and a pastry. And for somebody like me who has a sensitivity to grains even, being able to have pastry at the ready is a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing. So not much of a coffee drinker, but I sure am a lot of a pastry eater. So as we finish up today, Miss Chasity Luellen, because Charity is just waiting in the wings to make my shaved ice, and I'm super excited to have her make it. Anything else you wanted to share with people?
Just the last and final thought is just take control of your health.
Yes.
Just take control of it, and the diagnosis that you get, the opinions of people, you can choose to either
Yes.
thrive or to die,
Yes.
and that's up to you, and it's your choice, and that's the best part about it. God gives us a choice, and
Ooh.
I love that choice.
Oh, Lori, you drive 7 hours? I guess I should stop complaining about driving from the other side of Rockwall.
Yeah, Lori is. She's
Oh,
well, yeah.
okay. Well, I guess
she's
I'm a whiny baby, huh?
No.
Okay. All right. So that is going to conclude my time today with Miss Chasity Luellen and her beautiful daughter Charity, who has been handing us everything that you see mystically appear.
My wife.
Over at Fifth Avenue Bakery and Coffee and Pastries here in Garland. I am going to have a link that you can reach out to her.
Yes.
She also does wellness coaching, as you could probably tell, and just a whole lot of other things.
Yeah,
so
a whole
I
lot
don't
of
have a
other things.
website personal, but nonetheless,